Hello. I hope you've all had a great week. And I'm quite excited this week because we're going to be doing something a little bit different. What do you think, Obadiah?
I'm all ears.
Are you?
Yes, I am. What's so funny about that?
Well, I can't see your ears at all, so, I wasn't really sure you had any.
Of course I have. Just because you can't see them doesn't mean they're not there. I mean, you can't see my brain, can you? But you've never doubted I've got one, have you? Have you? Anna?
Well, as I was saying, I'm really excited this week because we're going to be doing something a little bit different. We're going to start telling a story that's quite long, so we're not going to finish it this week. You'll have to come back next week to see what happens. And it'll be quite fun to do a long story, won't it, Obadiah?
I suppose so. Depends what it is. Is it Lord of the Wings?
No.
Or War and Beaks?
No, it isn't that either. It's the story of Joseph.
Oh, is it nearly Christmas?
No, it isn't nearly Christmas. And our story isn't about that Joseph, the one who was married to Mary. It's a much older story about a different Joseph. You might have heard about him because there's a show all about him.
Oh, you mean the one with the coat?
That's it.
Jason Donegan and the multicoloured fleece?
Not quite. I think you're getting a bit muddled up. But that's okay. It's easy to get confused. So let's start at the beginning. This is a story from the Old Testament, the first part of the Bible.
Like the one about Moses and Aaron?
Yes. They helped the Israelites to escape from Egypt, where they were being treated as slaves, didn't they? But have you ever wondered how they came to be in Egypt in the first place? Why were they there at all?
I don't know.
Well, this is the story about how they came to be living in Egypt in the first place. And it also explains why they were called Israelites.
Oh!
You see, it all starts with a man named Jacob. God spoke to Jacob and gave him a new name, Israel. But for the time being, we'll call him Jacob. And Jacob had 12 sons. Their names were Reuben, Simeon, Levi, Judah, Issachar, Zebulun, Joseph, Dan, Naphtali, Gad, Asher, and Benjamin.
Jacob must have had a big car. Imagine taking all them to school.
There weren't any cars in those days, Obadiah. This happened thousands of years ago. People didn't have cars, or computers, or electric lights. It was very different from the modern world. Jacob's sons lived a hard outdoor life, looking after sheep and goats. They got their water from wells and lit a fire in the open air when they needed to keep warm.
Oh!
As well as keeping sheep and goats, so they could have meat and milk. They must have grown wheat for making bread too, because one day one of Jacob's sons, Joseph, had a dream.
Can you tell us about your dream?
I dreamed my brothers and I, were all working in the fields, harvesting the wheat and making it into bundles. My bundle was the biggest. It stood up straight, all by itself. All the other bundles, the ones my brothers had made, bowed to it.
Did you tell your brothers about your dream?
Yes, I did.
What did they think of that?
They weren't very happy. They thought I was saying that I was more important than the rest of them. That one day my brothers would all have to bow down to me.
I see. And were you?
Yeah, I suppose I was.
Can you tell us what happened next?
I had another dream. This time I saw the sun and the moon and 11 stars, and they were all bowing down to me.
He had another dream. This time he saw the sun and the moon and 11 stars, and they were all bowing down to him. That boy, I don't know.
What do you think the dream meant?
It's obvious, isn't it? The 11 stars are his 11 brothers, and the sun and moon are me and his mother.
And you all bowed down to him?
Ridiculous, isn't it? A father bowed down to his son, and all his brothers too, and he wasn't even the eldest. Was that Joseph's dad?
That's right. Can you remember his dad's name?
Jacob.
That's right. Jacob wasn't very pleased when he heard about the dream.
I bet he was really mad. 'Cause you know what they say about him, don't you?
What?
Jacob's crackers!
Oh, Obadiah. But you are right. He was pretty cross, because Joseph seemed to be making out that he was more important than his father and mother, as well as his brothers.
Were his brothers angry too?
They were. Joseph's brothers were so angry that they started making plans to hurt him.
Oh no!
You see, it wasn't just the dreams. Joseph really was Jacob's favourite son. He'd made him a special coat as a present, and the other brothers were jealous.
Oh!
One day, Jacob sent Joseph out to where his brothers were looking after the sheep. Jacob told him to check that his brothers were all right. When they saw Joseph coming, some of the brothers decided that they were going to kill him and throw his body into a dried up well.
Oh no! That's terrible!
Yes, it really is. But fortunately, the eldest brother, Reuben, didn't want Joseph to be killed.
No, I didn't. I mean, I know he's annoying, but little brothers are always annoying, aren't they? I should know. I've got 11 of them.
Oi!
Calm down, Judah. You're not as annoying as Zebulun. Or Asher.
Oh.
What?
So I'm like the third, most annoying brother out of 11. Oh, and this is supposed to make me feel better.
What did you think should happen to Joseph, Judah?
I thought we should sell him.
Sell him?
Yeah, as a slave.
A slave?
Yeah.
What did you think of that, Reuben?
I wasn't there when Judah came up with that idea. I'd gone to check on one of the sheep. I thought we were just going to chuck him in a well, just to teach him a lesson. If you want to know the truth, I was planning to sneak back and let him out when the others had gone home.
You were gonna do what?
But I never got the chance, did I?
Why not?
Because by the time I got back, they'd sold him.
Who to?
Slave traders, Ishmaelites. They were on their way to Egypt.
So, the next thing I knew, I was in Egypt. A slave. I had to work really hard, and I wasn't even paid. I was just someone's property, like a plough or a donkey.
Whose property were you?
a man called Potiphar. He was a captain in the king's guard, quite an important man in Egypt.
What did the brothers say to Jacob? How did they explain why Joseph was missing?
Well, they dipped his very special coat in goat's blood and told Jacob that Joseph had been killed by a wild animal.
That's awful.
Yeah, and Jacob was very, very sad.
And poor Joseph was a slave, a long way from home.
And things were about to get much, much worse. Potiphar's wife said I tried to hurt her.
Did you?
No, she was lying. But Potiphar believed her and threw me in prison.
What happened in the prison?
I was locked up with two men who had been servants of the king. One day they both told me dreams they had had, and somehow I knew what the dreams meant.
What did they mean?
Well, one of them was going to be let out of prison and go back to working for the king, but the other one wasn't.
He was going to stay in prison?
No. The king was very angry with him.
Oh.
Yes, I had him killed. You can do that when, you're the king.
I see, and around this time you had a strange dream too. Is that right?
Uh-huh.
And how did this affect you?
Badly. I was all shook up.
And what did you dream about?
It was really weird. There were cows eating each other, and all kinds of bizarre stuff. But my servant...
The one you let out of prison?
That's right. He told me about someone in the prison who could make sense of dreams. A fella named Joseph. So I had him brought to me.
And did he explain your dream?
He sure did. He said that for 7 years we were gonna be able to grow lots of food. But then, for the next 7 years after that, there would be no food, and the people would starve. That is, unless someone made sure we saved enough in the first 7 years. If we did that, we'd get through the tough times.
So, what did you do?
I gave him the job. If the guy can tell what's gonna happen for the next 14 years, he's the man to put in charge of planning, right? So that's what happened. Not only was Joseph let out of prison, he became one of the most powerful men in Egypt. He was second only to the king.
Wow! What a happy ending! But I thought you said we would have to wait till next week for the end of the story.
Well, we will. That's not the end. Not by a long way.
We interrupt our program to bring you this important message.
Honey,
Yes.
I do believe it's very nearly the 10th of August.
Oh gosh, it is already, isn't it?
And you know what that means, don't you?
I do.
Shall we tell everybody what it means?
I think we ought to, hadn't we?
Oh, yes.
Holiday club bookings for Jungle Academy, yay, will shut on the 10th of August. Now, it's going to be brilliant this year. It's going to be a bit different because we're not meeting in person, but it's going to be brilliant. there are going to be loads and loads of things for you to do. We will have Bible stories, crafts, cookery, science experiments, great songs, messy games. All you need to do to book your place is to email the address at the bottom of the screen. And just remember, guys, this is going to be brilliant, and everything you will need to take part will be sent to you in a box before the start of the club. Get booking.